Today, I would like to introduce Jill Rippe. Those of you, many of us know Jill. She's been a member of our fellowship for I don't know how many years, but I'm always jealous of Jill because her right brain is 10 times bigger than mine. And she comes up with these very creative and wonderful things to do. So today, I introduce her and remind you that she has also done organization and help us presentation of our Procession of the Species, which has become kind of a popular thing in lacrosse. So welcome to Jill.
Am I on? I'm on. Well, there is a very short reading to start with, and it's just a sentence from Pablo Picasso. Every child is born an artist. The trick is remaining one as an adult. How true. Well, have you heard of right brain and left brain? It's been out there. Basically, the brain thinks, the left brain thinks in words and logical ideas. It's a part of our brain that talks to us and stresses us out. The other side, the right brain, thinks in abstract ideas, colors, shapes, sounds, movement, and such. And it's the part of our brain that is creative and allows us to get into the zone or the flow where time, words, and stress can disappear. And that's what we're going to try doing today, is getting into our right brain and getting our left brain to shut up. There's a trick to it. As Betty Edwards explains in her book, and I brought it along with me, it's a really wonderful, I don't know where slides went. I'm not paying attention. Anyway, I'll keep talking because there's a slide that just shows this book. And she says, in order to get in your right brain, it is necessary to present the left brain with a task that it will turn down. More or less, you need to bore your left brain. Zentangle falls into this category where the left brain, thinking in words, should shut down, making it a form of meditative drawing, because we're going to bore the left side of our brain by just repeatedly drawing abstract shapes, which is what Zentangle is. And these repeated strokes don't require any artistic ability. This is just something that's just, it's doodling. Although in Zentangle, they take offense at the word doodle because they think that's mindless and they think Zentangle is mindful. I am of the opinion that repetitive drawing to bore the left side of the brain doesn't matter what you draw. Zentangle, if you're interested, there are classes at Franciscan Spirituality Center and other locations, and I encourage you to pursue it if this is of interest to you. But also, Betty Edwards' book is really wonderful. For those of you that feel that you lost your artistic child somewhere back when you were in your middle school days, it really can be recovered. All of us are artists. So you don't need to know how to do Zentangle to do this exercise today. You all know about shapes, circles, squares, triangles, and other marks that you can make. And so if you feel discouraged by the idea of Zentangle, if it's too complicated for you, and I'm not really going to teach Zentangle today, we're just going to be doing a basic idea of that. But don't get hung up on the word Zentangle or that there's a right and a wrong way to do this. There are no mistakes, there are only happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say. And so, we're just going to be drawing. And the idea is to try regaining childhood, perception of being able to see. And that's something that Betty Edwards talks about in her book. And it's really quite intriguing if you are interested in right and left brain ideas to look at her book, because she has some really interesting exercises to close down the left side of your brain and to just get you to perceive and see what's in front of you. So for the next 30 minutes, we're going to do some meditative drawing. And at each of the tables, you'll see materials in front of you. There's kind of a little short how-to list. And for those of you on Zoom, don't worry, there are no mistakes. You can just get a piece of paper and a pen and draw along with us. I will be showing on the screen, these are materials that we have at the table. It's just basic paper, pens of any sort, and pencils. You don't need any specific Zentangle materials, although there are those available, but we have the RE materials, so we're in good stead here. Anyway, we will be use what you have. And on the larger, the 8 by 11 sheets of paper, just standard paper, there are scissors here so you can cut a shape if you want a particular shape. So there are different sizes of papers on the table, many different kinds of pens. The black pens are kind of helpful for drawing, and the colored pencils and pens are good for coloring. Whatever suits you, you can use what you find in front of you. Next slide, please. Also on the table, and for those of you on Zoom, I've picked out 4 Zentangle shapes. And these are really just basic shapes. The bubbles are circles. The Kathy's Dilemma is really just triangles. Dandelion seeds are just kind of like stars with bulbs at the end. And bricks are just rectangles. Now, on the instructions that are on the tables here, you'll see some red lines. And if you are intrigued by Zentangle, there is a process where you draw a basic shape and then you just start filling it in. And you can put in as much detail as you want to. And some Zentangle pieces are incredibly detailed. We're not expecting anything like that. We're just going to be doodling. So take a look at the different shapes. If you're at the table, if you're on Zoom, just think circles, squares, triangles, or any kinds of marks that you enjoy making. So next slide, please. To start, we're going to have the piece of paper that you choose. You're going to draw a border around the outside. And this is just to kind of contain our drawing, give you instead of a blank sheet of paper, you get to start off with a border. And then just take a line and draw 3 spaces inside that. And these are going to be some different areas that we'll put different kind of marks in. So it doesn't have to be straight lines, it can be curvy lines, it can be whatever you want. And you'll see on the table some colored drawings. And those are just examples of things that I did. And they're using some of the same shapes that I have on the table as examples, and just showing you different ways you can do it. Just purely as example, nothing that you need to copy, but don't be daunted by this. Next slide, please. So this shows the idea of putting the different symbols or the different Zentangle ideas, the squares, the circles, into the different shapes. And so you'll spend as much time as you want to in each area, and you can pick just one shape or you can pick many shapes, and you just start filling them in. Again, repetitive strokes. You don't have to think about this. Just have fun, play with it.